Welcome to T. Lokes, Tucson's local business podcast. I'm your host, L. Connor McEverly, and in each episode, we embark on a journey to connect with the passionate minds behind the businesses and nonprofits that make our community thrive. Join me as I sit down with the owners, visionaries, and change makers who pour their hearts into shaping the local landscape. We explore the challenges, triumphs, and unique journeys that define Tucson's business community. From the corner coffee shop to the innovative startups and impactful nonprofits, T. Lokes is your window into the diverse stories that make our city special. Tune in and get ready to get connected. This is T. Lokes. Howdy, folks, and welcome to T. Lokes, your Tucson local business podcast. I'm your host, L. Connor McEverly, and joining me via virtual chat today is the founder and owner of Tucson Headshot, Tucson's #1 branding and headshot photography studio that helps professionals create authentic portraits. It is my pleasure to introduce Rachel Castillo to the show. Rachel, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Connor. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you making the time. So let's talk about Tucson Headshot. It's a multi-parted question, but what got you started? What's your mission? What set you on this path?
Thanks for asking. Let's see. I love origin stories.
Who doesn't?
One day, let's see. I've been photographing people, always portraits for over 20 years since I was in high school.
Nice.
And I studied photography, and I really did it nights and weekends while I had a day job at a photo lab for a long time. So always in the photo industry.
Nice.
And after COVID, I was like, I'm going to kind of do the thing, like take a leap of faith and on myself and, kind of start my own business. Well, at the time, since then, I've always been making art and portraits and creative portraits and a lot of outdoor boudoir and fun things. Dabbled in like families, all the things, as you're learning.
Right.
And when I opened my business, I thought, well, I really want to help people who are making an impact. And I see that as people who are in business, entrepreneurs, kind of dreamers, go-getters, mover and shakers, thought leaders.
Right.
And for me, the idea of headshots and business branding kind of is really art. One, there's the art of helping somebody feel comfortable and really get an authentic smile, something so simple as a headshot.
Right.
But branding, that was exciting to me because it's like everybody is a character in their own story. So like a doctor, for example, it's like, what is your doctor outfit? What are your doctor props to help tell the story? So you see a stethoscope and instantly you know that this person is a medical professional. So I could bring in all these things around art, like symbolism, the power of color, storytelling. Right. So that's how I decided this industry. And then Tucson Headshot just made sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also because I wanted to, I wanted people to find me. I wanted my Google SEO to go up.
Yeah, totally. I get it. I can really resonate with that kind of mission to help kind of uplift people who are like making changes and entrepreneurs, like people who are really contributing to our community in interesting ways, giving people places to go, certain services, certain goods, and really making a connection with the people in town. So that's awesome. That's an awesome story and mission. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So, I know you mentioned that you had recently got a studio. That's super awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I was just wondering, kind of looking back over that origin story of yours, can you tell me maybe like one moment of achievement or a big milestone that you came to?
Oh man, there's so many. So many. I would say that, one of the first hurdles when I started my business was mindset shift. So shifting my mindset from an artist mindset to a business owner mindset. It really is different. We kind of function in different ways.
Yeah.
That was a challenge that I really had to kind of work through. Yeah. And but then there's been so many, there's so much that you don't learn in art school. I mean, I learned I learned my craft, how to be a photographer, but I didn't learn how to be a business person or things like learning tax. Yeah. And, all the business stuff, all the admin things those are the hurdles for my brain.
Totally.
But then when I opened the space, something that just felt really good was literally walking up and seeing my name on the front door. I was like, yes, yes. I feel like this has been a long time coming. I've been really working on getting a space to call home for a couple of years now.
Right. Well, awesome. Congratulations. That's got to be so sweet. And that's like, it's a memory that's almost etched, just like your name right on the door,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
So
yeah. I took a photo so I can remember.
that's awesome. So I noticed that, you said that, you went to school for photography and art,
Mhm,
and I kind of want to touch on something you said earlier too, about kind of adding these artistic elements to headshots.
mhm.
So I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about the impact a professional headshot can make and describe what makes a headshot for branding unique as opposed to maybe like a headshot for a performer.
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of times when people come to me and they say needed a headshot, as we're getting into, I'm like, okay, what do we need to make? Does your image need to fit in or does it need to stand out? So I
Right.
think sometimes headshots that need to fit in are like that traditional head and shoulders, simple backdrop, maybe for a company's website,
Right.
usually kind of a corporate look where we're looking for consistency.
Yeah.
But I think a branding type of headshot is something that has more personality, maybe a little bit more
Right.
creativity with your background that tells the story. Maybe you're outside, maybe you're next to a building, maybe it's colors,
Yeah.
because I think there's so much energy and subtleties in color. Um, so I think that could be in the impact. I think really the impact starts with the person. It's a confidence booster.
Right.
Really, I think a good headshot, one that you resonate with, where you're like, yes, this is me, or this
Yeah.
is the best version of me right now.
Right. Right.
um, it just is like a ripple effect. It
Yeah.
affects how you see yourself, how you show up with others,
Yeah.
how your family sees how you see yourself, like
Yeah.
your own children.
Yeah.
And so that affects your relationships, how you show up in your business.
Mhm.
And so for me, having headshots for myself, so I also get photographed because I need a headshot.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, I just put it on my business card and it's gigantic on there. And I actually feel really happy when I felt a little self-conscious to hand out my new business cards with my face
Right.
on it. But literally everybody smiles because I'm smiling in it. And then so smiles are contagious. And then but I do feel more confident when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to be on your podcast," or "Here, we're going to have a speaking thing," and they're going to blast your photo on a flyer. I'm like,
Right.
"Yes, I have one. I feel confident. I feel proud of it. I feel
Yeah.
excited for people to see it. I want people to feel inspired by seeing me use my headshot." Um,
Definitely.
yeah, so I think that's the impact of it. Also, the subtleties of photographs, like our brain, we have our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. So when we're searching, like 80% of consumers search online before they make a buying decision. So that
Yeah.
means they are looking us up before they do business with us. I do. I look up
Yeah.
my doctor. I look up every single service provider I can.
Right.
Especially technicians that are coming to my house. Do we have,
Yeah.
like what's the vibe of the business? Especially if you really want to
Yeah.
shop local, you want to make a
Right.
connection with people. And that's what the photo does in like your first impression.
Yeah. That's all. That's really well put. Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks. I'm like, did I
that.
answer your question?
You answered the question. Absolutely. No, makes a lot of sense. I really appreciate that. And I noticed you kind of talking about like getting people comfortable and like, the branding starts with the subject of the photograph. And doing my research, because, I look you up on social media
Yep.
and on the internet before, I make these questions, I came past your reviews and you've received a lot of really great reviews on Google. And a
Thank you.
pretty common thread that I noticed through all of them was folks talking about like how comfortable you make the process and the atmosphere for photo shoots. And I was wondering if you could speak a bit to your approach in making the photo shoot process a comfortable atmosphere while also keeping up the energy.
That's a great question. So I have some pre-photo shoot rituals
Yeah.
to like really get my mindset. Cause it's just like that saying, like you got to put on your own, air mask in the airplane. So I do
Totally.
have some mindset rituals to get myself focused and really kind of tune into like meeting this person where they are.
Right.
Being photographed is like so vulnerable. It's so hard. Like 99% of people who walk into my studio are telling me that they don't love this experience and they haven't even done it yet, but they
Yeah.
just are dreading it a little bit. And that also they're sharing something that they're vulnerable around their body image,
Right.
whether that's like, it's usually, arms, chins, bellies, all the things
E-
around our body.
Everything, right? Yeah.
So I think it helps. I think it starts with some of my language. Like when I'm doing a consultation with somebody, I'm like really trying to make a heart connection, especially if we're doing a portrait session or a branding session where we're really trying to be authentic and they need to be vulnerable with me so I can figure out who they are,
Right.
and capture that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot in that, just making the connection when we're first talking. And then during the shoot, like, of course, atmosphere and setting a container is super important.
Yeah.
So like my studio has like all the things I've been dreaming of. Good parking, HVAC, plenty of windows. It has a little kitchen, all the things that make somebody comfortable so that your nervous system is comfortable. So I'm like setting the scene in all the ways. And then of course, being prepared with like, I know, what you're going to wear, what you're going to do, where these photos are going to land so that we're shooting for a purpose. I think that helps to build confidence, which helps you to be more relaxed when you start something.
Yeah.
So the more prepared you are and the more of a connection I have with somebody, the more it flows and more successful it is. But then just during the shoot, I'm playful. I think I'm just naturally playful, maybe a little goofy, or try to meet somebody where they are so that sometimes try to make somebody laugh. They might be laughing at me, but then it's a real laugh. And then it counts. So those are just like, I guess that's how I try to keep up the energy and meet people where they are.
Nice. Thank you. Howdy, listener. Are you also a podcaster seeking to stand out in the crowded audio landscape? I'm here to help. L. Connor Voice, LLC offers top-tier audio engineering, meticulous content management, and more, all tailored to save you time and elevate your podcast to new heights of professionalism. With L. Connor Voice, you can focus on what you do best, creating captivating content, while I handle the rest. Say goodbye to hours spent tweaking audio levels and managing uploads. I ensure your podcast shines with polished sound quality and seamless delivery. Ready to take your podcast to the next level? Contact L. Connor Voice, LLC today and make producing your podcast as easy as hitting record. For more information, go to lconnorvoice.com. Links are in the episode notes. So, talking a little bit about, your experiences, your approach, we've talked about your origin story. We talked about, some moments of achievement. And I was wondering, let's look forward a bit. What are some goals that you are striving for now?
Oh, that's so great, because it's like, like I was just reflecting that, sometimes you hit the goals and then like I got the keys to the building and then I was like, yay. And then I was like, okay, let's move in. I was like, put the brakes on and celebrate. And then I'm like, oh, but let's cross that off and put new goals on the board. So some dreams and goals that I have is this studio. I really want to make like a go-to space for headshots for business professionals who either need to drop in because they need something quickly, because that exists, or people who want a high-end quality service. They really want to level up their branding. So I want this to be like the go-to place. I also want to create this photo studio as a place to help other photographers. Yeah. So on one hand, the space is available for photographers and other creatives to use and to rent so they can bring their clients to. Nice. But also I want this to be like a really hop-in photo studio where maybe I have multiple photographers here, also taking care of the clients, creating jobs that are more than just a solo. A lot of times photographers are like one person that operates everything, and wears all the hats. But I'd love to have a team. I'd love to create a space that we do good work for good people. We make a positive impact in Tucson because we're helping people who help people. Right. And I'm creating jobs for people who want to be in a photo industry, which is really hard to run your own business. So a lot of photographers are like, go between having day jobs and then side photography. Right. So it would be, that was my dream, is to be like, can I just work somewhere where I photograph all day, or run a photo studio? So I'd love to make like a hop-in photo studio where we're making jobs and that they are paid a thriving wage. Yes. All the things that creatives feel like that they have to negotiate on, like healthcare and benefits and, flexibility. So I want to create that. I do have some other dreams too, but that's like the next big one, like get the space and then grow it.
Yeah, totally. No, that's a really worthwhile goal. And, really lovely kind of like look behind the curtain as to like your motivations, like uplifting other people, like giving people what like you yourself have been gaining, right? Like the ability to
Absolutely.
pursue what you want and make like a true and thriving living off of it.
Absolutely. I believe that we need each other and we all come up together. I don't want to just like have something and then it's like people are lonely, I think, like at the top. Or
Yeah.
it's like I want everybody to come with me. Come on, all the other photographers, my family, my friends, let's all kind of rise together, grow together.
I love it. That's great. So, talking about, your services, talking about, some of your goals into the future, it sounds like there's a lot of people who could benefit in reaching out to you. And I guess I wanted to ask a question, what might someone be experiencing right now that should indicate that they reach out to you?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think people, what they might be experiencing, let's see, if somebody is like a speaker or a coach and they are kind of forward facing or they are the face of their business or they are doing networking or they're online and they feel like maybe they're not making an impact or maybe they're busy but not with all of their favorite clients.
Yeah.
The idea, I think branding is how you make people feel and
Yeah.
what they remember about you. So if you want to be more memorable, if you want to make more of an impact, or you want to attract your ideal client, then that's about creating more visibility. Um, and you'll want to be more visible if you feel more confident and
Yeah.
you'll feel confident with the process. If you're like, I don't know what to wear, I don't know how to do my hair and makeup. I've got a team that takes care of all that from start to finish. We just help you through the process.
Yeah.
If you're like, I don't even know what I need, but I need something, I'll help you with that too. I've got a ton
Nice.
of creative ideas. So somebody might be feeling just like it's like on their wish list to level up their marketing, but
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
even know where to start.
Right.
Mhm.
Nice.
I
Nice.
really, really love working with curvy women over 40 because that is who I resonate with, because that is me. I'm a curvy woman over 40. That's my mom. That's my Thea. That's my best friend. That's pretty much every woman I know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's who I can help the most actually. Um, because I understand the vulnerabilities around being photographed
Right.
and vulnerabilities around our body image
For
and
sure.
just kind of the things that we're going through after we hit 40.
Yeah. Totally.
So that is actually who my heart connects with the most.
Nice. All right. And, let's say some of these folks are listening right now, and let's say that they want to take on your services. Could you run us through the process of what setting up a session is like?
Oh, absolutely. Usually people will visit my website. They'll take a look at what I have. They'll give me a call or set up a phone call. And the first phone call is like a getting to know you and what is your vision and can I meet that vision? I
Yeah.
really like to meet in person for a planning session. That's where we're going over all the logistics of what you're going to wear, how we're going to prepare your hair and makeup, what kind of backgrounds, are we changing locations, where do the images land? So that's where we're planning out all the details. During the photo session, I have our hair and makeup artist show up and we kind of get you prepared. We have got your clothes ready and we run through, usually sessions are a couple of hours, usually
Okay.
around 4 hour block of time. And we have a good time. I guide you through the whole thing. I tell you what to do, how to stand,
Yeah.
what to do with your hands. We get a ton of expressions from laughing to serious. I really think that the micro expression is key because only you know how you like your smile. So
Yeah.
I capture a whole bunch so that you can decide after. And then after the photo shoot, a couple days later, we take a look at the photos together. And then we decide together which are the best ones.
Yeah.
We do some retouching and so forth.
Awesome. Great. So for these folks, they now know what the process is like. Where can they go to learn more about Tucson Headshot, hear more of your insights, or see your work?
Thank you for asking. So you can visit TucsonHeadshot.com. I'm
Okay.
also on Instagram,
Awesome.
Tucson Headshot.
Yeah.
And I do, let's see, we can also chat on LinkedIn.
All right. And folks, we'll have links in the episode notes. So if you want to reach out to Rachel, just go ahead and look in the episode notes, and the links will be right there for you. So, Rachel, we are recording this right now in like mid October. It's going to be released. This episode should be released in November, about mid November. And I know that you have some events that are coming up in between those times. So, listeners, these events will have already passed. But if you are on the social medias, you should have seen these little sneak peeks come out. But, Rachel, can you tell me about some events that are coming up in the near future that folks should keep an eye out for?
Yes, thanks for asking.
Of
I've
course.
got two events coming up in a week and a half. October 26th, we will have our grand opening. It's an open studio party. We'll have
Nice.
food, music, some prize giveaways, including a chance to win a photo shoot with me.
Nice.
And that's from 4 to 7 p.m. at our new studio. And then in November, we are open for open studio tours, November
Okay.
8th, 9th, and 10th from 11 to 3 p.m. And that is all over the city. Artists open up their studios and you can tour each studio, which is super cool. That means you get to see
Yeah.
behind the scenes. So I'll have my studio open. I'll have a couple of photographers here. So we'll have kind of like a group show,
Okay.
and I'll have a photo shoot set up so that people can see what that looks like.
Awesome. That sounds really exciting. And for the folks who unfortunately did not hear about these events, do you know if there's anything kind of closer to the end of the year, or maybe beginning of 2025 they can keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I am right now in the brainstorming for a January kind of vision board goal setting workshop
Nice.
um, with my friend Cindy Campano, and she is a coach and consultant, and we're going to do a little collaboration.
Ooh, sweet. Okay. So, folks, if you're interested in hearing more details about that, one, if there's a link to the event, it'll be in the show notes. Two, if there's not, go ahead and follow the social medias. Go ahead and follow Tucson Headshot and stay privy to the events coming up. All right. Well, Rachel, it has been so great to talk with you today. Thank you so much for making the time and talking about your experience, your approach. I can just see the passion pouring through with everything you do. So thank you again so much for talking to me today. I do have one more question for you, though, and it's
Yes.
the question I ask everybody who comes on this show. So, what is one thing out of the many that you love about Tucson?
Um, oh yeah, that is a hard one. I mean, it's got to be the people.
Yeah.
I really love the people. As soon as I got to Tucson, I felt this like kind of magnetic pull to it, almost like a heartbeat. I felt like there's like a healing center, and I immediately found my family, my chosen family,
Nice.
people that I have been friends with for the whole time I've lived here for 22 years. So, I mean, it's got to be the people, the community. I call it the Tucson two. We're all connected by like just 2 degrees of separation in Tucson.
Right.
It's kind of got that, it's like, what do they call it? It's like a big city feel, but it's small town, big city vibe. I don't know, but
Yeah, small town feel, but big city.
I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Whatever it is, it's got to be the people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the people of Tucson are really great, for sure, and we have such like a thriving community. People who really care about the other people in town.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
really fortunate to be part of this community.
There's so much care here. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well,
Well, thank you for having me. This was
of
wonderful.
course. Thank you for being here. I was just going to say thank you for your time. And that's all the time that we have. So, again, thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Go ahead and check out the episode notes and find the links to get in touch with Rachel. All right. Toodaloo.
Bye. Thank you.
And that's a wrap for another episode of T Lokes, your go-to podcast for uncovering the untold stories of Tucson's local businesses and nonprofits. A big thank you to our incredible listeners for joining us on this journey of connection and discovery. I want to extend a huge thank you to Rachel Castillo for coming on the show today and sharing with us about how she got started, some of the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, and how Rachel helps draw her clients out of their shell to produce stunning, professional, and creative branded headshots. Show them some love and check out their links in the episode notes. A big thank you to Louis Sanders from Sound Monk Studios for composing the awesome T Lokes theme music. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to stay connected with Tucson's vibrant business scene, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback is invaluable, and it helps us continue bringing you engaging conversations. As we wrap up, remember that T Lokes isn't just a podcast, it's a community. Let's keep the conversation going on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or our Discord channel and share your thoughts, suggestions, or even recommend a local business or nonprofit you'd like to see featured on the show. Thank you once again for being a part of the T Lokes community. Until next time, stay connected, stay inspired, and keep supporting the heartbeat of Tucson. Toodaloo.